Imagine standing in a crowded room when suddenly someone mocks you in front of everyone. A cheap insult, a cruel joke, an attempt to break your confidence. Most people in that situation either lash out, stumble over their words, or freeze, feeling humiliated. But imagine if none of that touched you. Imagine being so unshakable that no insult, no disrespect, no criticism could ever break your composure. The person attacking you would realize something terrifying. You are immune. And there's nothing more powerful than a person who cannot be broken. Most people are trapped in an endless cycle of reacting. They spend their lives getting offended, feeling hurt, seeking revenge. They let the outside world dictate how they feel inside. But if you truly want to be powerful, to be untouchable, you need to break free from this cycle. You need to understand that emotional control is the ultimate weapon. Think about it. When someone insults you, they're not just speaking words. They're testing you. They want to see if they can make you react, if they can pull you into their frame. Weak people take the bait every time. They argue, they defend themselves, they seek approval. But the strong, they remain still. They don't waste energy trying to prove anything. They let their silence speak for them. This is the art of psychological dominance. The moment you show that you're unaffected, the other person begins to doubt themselves. They wonder why their words didn't work on you. They lose confidence. And you remain exactly where you were, unshaken, in control, and untouchable. But this kind of power isn't something you can just wish for. It has to be built. It has to be trained. And the first step is understanding this. People only have power over you if you give it to them. Think about that for a second. Every time you get angry because of what someone said, you've handed them control over your emotions. Every time you seek validation, you've given someone else the power to decide your worth. And every time you react instead of remaining still, you've let the outside world dictate your reality. The truth is, anger is weakness disguised as strength. It's an emotional hijack that robs you of control. It's a button that, once pushed, makes you dance to someone else's tune. The moment you react emotionally, you've already lost. But when you master your mind, you become truly unstoppable. The solution? Take your power back. Most people believe that insults have power, but they don't. We give them power. The words themselves are empty. It's your interpretation that gives them meaning. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. When someone insults you, where does the pain actually exist? Not in the words, but in your mind. Here's a shift in perspective. Next time someone insults you, don't ask, "Why are they saying this to me?" Instead, ask, "Why should I care?" And in that space, make a decision. Will you give them control, or will you keep it? Because once you learn to control that moment, you've already won. Here's the truth most people don't realize. Respect isn't demanded, it's commanded. And the way you command respect isn't by shouting the loudest or fighting every battle. It's by showing that nothing shakes you, that no matter what happens, you remain firm, composed, and confident. When people see that you're unshakable, they stop testing you. They stop trying to bring you down because they realize it's impossible. And this doesn't just apply to insults. It applies to every area of life. People will try to undermine you, criticize your work, challenge your confidence. The weak crumble under pressure. The strong use that pressure as fuel. So how do you train this level of control? How do you become the kind of person who is truly untouchable? First, detach from opinions. Understand this. Most people's opinions are worthless. They are based on their own insecurities, their own fears, their own biases. Yet, people waste their entire lives worrying about what others think. It's time to stop. The moment you realize that other people's words cannot define you unless you let them, you become free. Second, master the art of the pause. Weak people are impulsive. They react instantly. But the powerful, they pause. They take a breath. They create space between action and reaction. And in that space, they decide how to respond, or whether to respond at all. This simple habit alone can change your entire life. Third, train for war before it happens. One of the most overlooked tactics of mental strength is preparation. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, practiced something called negative visualization. Every morning he reminded himself, "Today, I will meet people who are ignorant, arrogant, rude, and selfish." Why? Because when you expect negativity, it no longer surprises or affects you. Fourth, embrace the power of indifference. Indifference is a superpower. It means you don't give people the reaction they expect. If someone tries to provoke you and you just shrug, they are left with nothing. If someone disrespects you and you don't even acknowledge it, they lose. Because at the end of the day, the person who controls the frame controls the interaction. Fifth, develop an unshakable core. Most people react emotionally because they have no solid foundation. Their confidence is fragile. Their self-worth is dependent on others. But the truly powerful, their confidence comes from within. They don't need approval. They don't seek validation. They know who they are, and that makes them impossible to break. 6. Train yourself to be comfortable in discomfort. Weak people avoid pain. They avoid confrontation, hardship, struggle, and because of that, they remain weak. But if you want to be truly untouchable, you need to seek out discomfort. You need to become the kind of person who can stand in the middle of the storm and feel nothing. Start small. Take cold showers. Not because you need to, but because it toughens your mind. Hold eye contact with people longer than usual. Learn to dominate space without words. If someone tries to intimidate you, slow down your breathing instead of speeding it up. These small habits retrain your nervous system to stay calm under pressure. And once you master that, you become unstoppable. And finally, train yourself daily. This isn't something you learn once and master instantly. It's a daily practice. Observe yourself. Catch yourself when you start reacting emotionally. Challenge yourself to remain still in situations where you'd normally lose control. Over time, you'll notice something incredible happening. You'll become unshakable. This is the difference between ordinary people and those who dominate life. Ordinary people are slaves to their emotions. They get offended. They seek approval. They let others control their state of mind. But those who master themselves, they are free. They are powerful. They are untouchable. So here's your challenge. From now on, no matter what happens, no matter who insults you, criticizes you, or tries to break you, remain completely unshaken. Stay silent when others expect a reaction. Respond with calmness when others expect anger. Watch what happens. Watch how people start treating you differently. Watch how much more in control you feel. This is how you win. Not by fighting every battle, but by refusing to let anyone pull you into one. Hold your ground and you'll see. The world bends to the man who cannot be moved. If you're serious about becoming unshakable, subscribe and comment below with, "I accept the challenge." I'll be watching the comments and replying to the strongest minds out there. And before you go, click on the next video. What comes next will take your power to an entirely new level. See you in the next one.